What is up, everyone? Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. And today we're going to be reviewing the Magic Square Shovel Master and Roller Master. Yeah, that's what. I was trying to remember what that name was. Shovel Master and Roller Master, which of course is Mixmaster and Scrapper. And so, first of all, I want to say that I am the hugest New Age geek of all time. But I saw these guys, I saw the pictures as they've been coming up for the last few months, and I honestly could not decide which set I really wanted to get. Whether I wanted to get the New Age ones or the Magic Square ones. They both looked really good, but for different reasons. Ultimately, I decided that I was going to pick up the Magic Square ones in green and the New Age ones in yellow, because you know they're coming out. We've actually already seen at least one production sample of the yellow New Age one. So I'm definitely going to pick up them both, but I suspect that the New Age one is going to be like a box set. They're all going to come out as a whole, which is going to cost me an arm and a leg. So I ordered these from Shozy Store, and they just showed up, and I want to show them off. They're actually pretty damn excellent. So we're going to throw one of these guys to the side and just focus on Scrapper here for a little bit. The proportions on this guy are actually really, really good. I like them. He's got this kind of Magic Square has made like a more angular, kind of bulky proportions than New Age has. New Age has gone really into that animated, like cartoony aesthetic, which I think works well for them. But you know, I do want to acknowledge the very different aesthetic from the two figures. I I have one pin that is, oh shoot, I have one pin that is just ever so slightly. Why are you focusing on my finger when there's so much more interesting things to look at, camera? One pin that needs to be filed down. I'll get to that eventually. I am a machinist. I have the tools. But yeah, in terms of these guys, I really do like how they, you know, hide the wheels and fill in the gaps. One thing that I can say about the New Age ones is that they are extremely gappy, especially their Mixmaster has got like completely hollow legs. Something that the New Age one, sorry, Magic Square one, doesn't really have a problem with. But so there he is, front and sides. Getting into articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It doesn't really do much except rotate. It will rotate just fine. He's got the tiniest little bit of up and down. And really no side to side. His arms will go all the way around. Will go out for the full tree pose. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. And a wrist swivel. Actually, his wrist pops right off if you want it to. A wrist swivel. He comes with a waist swivel, and if you want to, you can pull up on this waist, and he's got an ab crunch, which is a nice addition. Or rather, you can also pull down on his crotch plate and give him a little bit of an ab crunch. The ab crunch is good, but doesn't really hold it super well. I wonder if that's a transformation thing for the Devastator mode. I'm not sure. Just a single skirt in the front, which of course is my least favorite way of doing that, but it allows him to kick forward that much, go backwards that much, and go out for the full Van Damme. He's got a thigh swivel, double jointed knee bend for a really good range of motion, and his ankle is on a ball joint, which allows for, it's focusing on my hand again. You know, autofocus off. Goes for a twisty twist and a little bit of an up and down. You can move his heel separately if you like. And his toe, a little bit. In terms of accessories, he does come with a couple. He comes with a alternate head that is almost exactly the same as this one. The only real difference is if you look at the side of his head and you look at the side of this head. There's some differences there in terms of what that black part covers. There's a seam right along here. I don't know if there we can see it. There's a seam that the head separates on. You just separate that off, and then this guy does the same thing. Separates, and you can put it on. It's so similar, I don't see the point personally. And then, of course, he comes with his gun, which slides into either hand quite nicely. But yeah, the paint apps are nice and crisp on this guy. You got some yellow here, some green, gray, and black here, some light gray and dark gray here, a little bit of red here, and some gray. This gray is paint app on this piece. It's actually gray plastic on this piece. But you can't really tell by looking at it. They look like the exact same shade of gray, which is really good. A little bit of gunmetal on the back of his arms. Silver on the rims. Really well done. No bleed or anything on it. Magic Square did say that I've heard people say that Magic Square is moving away from the alternate that like vinyl-y kind of soft plastic. That it wasn't really soft, but it was, you know, kind of a more flexible plastic. They said they were moving away from it, but honestly it feels the same to me. Now I haven't picked up a Magic Square figure in a few years. I think my last one was their Magic Square Transporter. So I haven't been like really Johnny on the spot with it, but it feels more or less the same to me. Let's stick him off to the side and we'll talk about Mixmaster or Roller Master if you prefer. So this guy, again, the master of mixes. They did the stuff to hide the little wheels here. The wheels are hidden inside the torso, which is quite nice. These little wheels show up here. They did this like magic bull honky to like compress down the leg. You can see the remnants of it in here, but the whole thing expands out. It's actually pretty cool. That alone may be one of the primary reasons why I was like, maybe I should get these guys. Because you know me, I always enjoy a figure that has a fair amount of witchcraft in it. In terms of accessories, this guy also comes with a few. He comes with his gun, which fits in his hand. And he also comes with an alternate drum, which you can pull this off here and pull this here. And I guess that's how it's supposed to fit on. I don't think it looks as good at all. I think this looks much better. But in terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It's back in here now. You can move this out of the way quite easily to get to it. So his head turns left and right. Fair amount of up, no really down at all, and no confused master of mixes. They should have just called him Bartender or something. That would have been a great third-party name. Arms will go out for the full tree pose, go all the way around. You do have a bicep joint here, double-jointed elbow. His wrist is on a ball joint, but at this point, really all you're going to get out of it is just a swivel. His waist is on a swivel, which is good. He's got a skirt armor that moves out of the way, but it doesn't hinder it sitting where it's at anyhow, so that doesn't really matter. Legs go that far forward, that far back. Goes only out for about, I think we can get 60% of a Van Damme. Not that great, but whatever. I mean, it's more, let's be honest, it's more of a Van Damme than I can give. Double jointed knee at the knee. Double jointed knee at the knee. Oh, that's good. That would be the knee would be a good place to put the knee, I think. And then he's got a compound joint here at the heel. It'll go forward and back and rotate like the swivels. And that's it. So they're good looking figures. And this guy, he's got some paint apps on him as well. Not as much as Scrapper here, but you know, enough to keep him from being boring. A bright red there. Some dark gray spattered in here. And then just on the rims, and then of course what's painted on his face. But let's get this guy transformed up. To do that, we're going to take his gun out, put that aside. We want to take his drum off, rotate this around so it's just kind of out of the way. Then we can take this and pull this up on the front and the back. It is connected through his head, so this is kind of wobble around a little bit. That's fine. You want to bend his elbow, pull on his wrist so that this disconnects, and then fold this inside and then close it back up again. Again, with the other hand, bend the wrist, fold this inside, close it. Now, straighten out his arms, reach for the sky, and then you want to pull them forward. And as you do that, pull open these little tabs here, these little panels. And then this whole chest section here, you can pull that. You can just kind of wiggle it up. And then you can take these guys here, they'll come down and flip around and then fold out this other set of wheels. And again, with the other side, down and around, fold out this other set of wheels. This is on a mushroom peg, and it does like to come off sometimes, so be a little bit wary of that. This panel here, you're going to pull on that. That's going to extend out as well. You want to open up these little guys right here. That's going to be his bumper. And bring that up. And then this whole section here is going to fold around, and then you got to kind of like cram this hinge past his head, which is okay for the first one, but it's a little more tricky for the second one. And then you've got these two little slots here on the front of his arms. Those are going to go into these tabs right here, like that and like that. And now you are going to bring this panel back down. You've got this slot right here. This is actually where it came from, but it's just going to go back to that same home. And then these guys are going to come in. There's two little slots here. This outer one here is going to tab into that. And then this is going to come around and plug into there. Actually, I may have been doing this wrong. We're actually going to accordion this whole thing down a little bit. Now that tab is going to plug into this near tab. That's how it's supposed to go. Brilliant. All right. Now, before we get too far on this, we want to rotate this waist around and then plug this in. That'll keep all of our stuff in gear. Not sure which of these tabs I really want to plug it into just yet. Let's get to that in just a second. Now for the legs, this is where the witchcraft happens. You want to kind of open all this up, fold this panel out, and then there's a tiny panel in here that you want to fold out. And then this little panel on the side actually comes out. It slides out on this little post here. And that will allow you to fold this grill forward, pull this window out, fold the grill back into place, bring the foot all the way out, bring it around, and then bring it back in. You want to bring this up and in, plug this, well, we'll get to that in a second. Bring this toe part in. You need to disconnect, bring this up to disconnect the crouchy. And then what you need to do is you need to unfold this bumper section, bring that around. There's the tab on the other side. See that tab there? You want to make sure that that's out. That's going to kind of fit into this slot here, but it's all going to kind of fit together at the last moment. So with that in place, you're going to prepare to put this tab right here into that slot. There's these two slots. This lower one here is for the mushroom peg. This upper one is for putting that part together. And as you do that, there's a little slot in this bumper that's going to fit in. And now all of this is just going to pop together like so. And I did want to put these on this outer peg just like that. And now we're going to do the same with the other leg. If that was difficult to follow, we'll try it again. Bring all this out. Take this panel, extend it out, rotate it around this way. Bring the leg out and out, rotate it around, bring it in and in. Make sure that this panel folds up and that this one gets ready to plug back into where it was before. Put this into place. Well, I gotta bring this section out and around. Bring out this panel, bring out this panel. Oh, I forgot to bring out the windshield. Haste makes waste, Zacchaeus. Alright, and there we go. There we go. Plug this into that. Plug this into each other. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. I seem to be having difficulties here. It's because I didn't have this crotch section low enough. Alright, and there he is in his cement truck mode. It is a very good looking cement truck, if I do say so myself. Not that I am a terrible expert on cement trucks. I just, seen them when they go do things. Let's put this guy off to the side and talk about Scrapper. Let's get him transformed up. Take his gun, put it aside. We want to take his head, rotate it all the way around, bring his arms out. They're attached to these purple panels here. We want to bring them up like so. You want to take his wrist and you want to wiggle it towards the back to disconnect this panel, and then wiggle it, rotate it all the way around, and then close this back up so that now he's got this portion here sticking out. And again, push it back to open up that panel, push it around, close that back up. These arms are going to go like so, with these angles pointed like there. You want to grab his shovel and pull on it to get all this to come out. Bring these wheels all the way around. bring the chest up. That'll help to just give you some space. You can take these skirts here and fold them up, and fold this guy up and around, and then put these arms down into that space that we've just vacated. Bring the chest back down. You've got a tab on the underside of this wheel that's going to go into this little slot right here, like so. And again with the other side, like so. We're going to take this, plug this in right over his face. We can take these around. There's tabs here and slots here. We can bend this around so that those slots plug into those tabs. There's basically half of your guy done already. Alright, now for the other half, you want to pull his wheel out. You want to pull his leg away so it disconnects around this, along this line. Basically, you're taking this front shell off of the back of his leg. And for this spot here, we do want to take, I've been using his gun. You can wiggle that into here and push on the back of this panel. That'll bring this panel up. So now we can collapse this toe a little bit, bring this around. There's this panel right here. That panel is going to fish through, and then you're going to bring his toe in, and then this panel is going to sit in right here. I do have some flash right here that's causing me some issues. I'll have to clean that up with a hobby knife. So get that guy into position, and then get this one into position. And now for the rest of his leg, you want to open this up, open this little panel up, open this little panel up. And then with his leg basically like he's standing straight, you want to take and swing this panel around so that this tab plugs into the slot on the back of his leg, like so. That will allow you to bring this, and this little tab is going to plug into this little slot right here. That'll cover up his hand. And then you can bring this around, slide it into place. You'll see there's a tab right in here. There's a slot hiding back behind there. That tab is going to maneuver through there and plug into that slot, and then this guy is going to come down, and this tiny little tab right here on the back is going to kind of plug into that, like so. Again with the other side, bring out his wheel, pull the front half of his leg away from the back half, using his gun, poke this panel open from the back. We want to open this all the way up. Got this foot all collapsed down. Bring this panel through. Slide that into place. Click that into place. With his toe hanging out underneath here, then we can bring this out and out and out. Bring this panel out. Make sure his leg is all straight. Swing this around until that tab plugs into its slot. Boom. Like so. Bring that into place. And then you want to take this slot here into that tab there. Boom. Fold the wheel down. Boom. Plug it all together. Boom. Boom. There we go. Just make sure this is straightened out. And there we have Scrapper in his vehicle mode. And these vehicle modes are really good because they don't reveal much, if anything, about the robot mode. Of course, you can look on the other side and be like, oh, hey, you know, this guy looks like he transforms just like every Scrapper out there, which is more or less true. There's just a lot of extra steps. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, because it looks good in both modes. It rolls well. He's got, you know, articulation in his little doohickey here. Not a whole lot of it, because if you bring this up too much, you're going to start plugging these tabs in to where they want to go for Devastator mode. But I'm not doing Devastator mode. We'll have to make Devastator to get that mode. But yeah, it's a good looking set. The only thing I can really say about them is I don't particularly care for the colors coming across. Looking on my screen, they look pretty good. But a lot of pictures that I've seen and having it in hand doesn't do anything to deter from the fact that they seem kind of pale. This yellow is a really muted yellow. Or sorry, this green is a really muted green. It's not this vibrant green like we saw in the cartoon, or like we saw. This is like they color matched an old set of Constructicons that some kid had played with outside for years, you know. So they're kind of faded and muted a bit. The purple I'm not particularly in love with either, though, I mean, I can say that they've got good consistency with the colors. But one of the things that I would have preferred is to see a more vibrant color scheme. I felt that I don't know, like this is, I don't know. It's a personal preference thing. If you happen to like the color scheme, then shoot, all the more power to you, man. But I love the witchcraft that goes into it, the like wizardry of transforming them up. The proportions of the vehicles are very good as well. Not quite. I suppose these are kind of in scale with each other, but they just look really good. I especially like the kind of almost hunched look of Scrapper, you know, with the big, like really big in the back. Definitely the most complex Constructicons I've ever handled. More so than my Toy World ones, and more so than, of course, anything that Hasbro has ever put out, for Constructicons at least. But I like him. I'm looking forward to completing the set. He's going to turn into Devastator, and yeah, ultimately I decided that I liked the robot mode look of the New Age ones, but I really, really liked the Devastator look of the Magic Square ones. So these guys are going to turn to Devastator. He's going to look fantastic. And the other ones, I'm probably just going to keep them in Constructicon mode and put them up with my display. But this review has gone on long enough. They have my full recommend. You can pick them up at Show Z or anywhere, any fine establishment of third-party figures. Thanks everyone for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody, stay awesome and be good to each other. I'll see you later. Be sure to share this with your friends, by the way, and comment on how much I sucked. And tell me if you guys are getting a set. I'm really kind of curious who all's getting a set and who all's holding out for New Age. See ya. Bye.